If you are sitting there feeling lonely, don't let anyone tell you you should be enjoying it. You shouldn't have to pretend. Your brain is signaling you to find your people the same way your stomachs tell you to find food. And people need to stop romanticizing solitude. There aren't real benefits when what someone experiences is loneliness. Those who praise being alone as healthy often haven't actually felt true loneliness, and you are not special or superior for withdrawing. You can be in a crowd and still feel alone, and claiming solitude as a badge of maturity is just um, avoidance for me, and it messed up things. And I learned a few things, and I still sometimes like being alone, but overall it hurt me and can be damaging for anyone who's otherwise doing fine and doesn't need to pull themselves down. And people tend to exaggerate things that aren't part of their lives. If, for example, if you have a parent you can spend time with watching your favorite movie, that's great, and you should strive for the best. Like my parents and I often meet in the kitchen. So because people who talk about solitude are sure uh, they have never been alone in their lives. If you want to cut off, and if you want really to experience loneliness, you have to cut off contact with anyone or delete everyone from social media, and severe ties with everyone in real life, and even um, cut off contact with the outside world except when absolutely necessary, and and try this for 4 years at least. Then we will see how you are, because most of the people just let their lives continue as usual. They don't talk to others, but they let others stay in their lives, so they don't feel that absolute emptiness. And they always act like loneliness is some kind of hidden gift. Like if you stay away from everyone long enough, you will magically become wiser or more authentic. But most of the time, being alone isn't an enlightenment. It's just emptiness with better branding. Uh, uh, so a person can sit in silence for hours and still not find peace if the silence is is only covering a need that was never met. So humans are not built like isolated islands and then pretend that the distance is a form of maturity. Like wanting closeness doesn't make someone weak or needy or less intelligent. It just makes them, or it makes us alive. And there is a strange habit people have of turning their own pain into a philosophy and then handing it to others like advice. They say solitude made them stronger. Yeah, maybe, but sometimes what they really mean is that they got used to hurting. And this is not the same thing. You can survive loneliness, but survival isn't the same as thriving. In the same way that hunger doesn't become beautiful just because you endured it, and loneliness doesn't become noble just because you learned how to live with it. For many people, it just leaves scars. And what makes this worse is when people romanticize being different, and simply because they are separate, and being outside the crowd isn't automatically deep. Being misunderstood um, doesn't automatically make you profound. Sometimes you are just cut off, and that cut can hurt in ways that are hard to explain. And there is nothing glamorous about being numb to connection and calling that independence. The real strength is not pretending you don't need anyone. The real one is knowing what you need without lying to yourself about it. And this is why loneliness should not be sold as a goal. Solitude can be useful in moderation, but it's not a cure for everything. And it's certainly not a reward by default. If being alone helps you think, create, or breathe for a while, yeah, it's fine. But if it becomes a place where you shrink, detach, and convince yourself that disconnection is freedom, then it's doing damage for yourself. And the world already gives people enough reasons to feel distance, and we don't need to glorify that distance as if it's we're with them.